Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your bonus December 27th midweek update. We are going to take a look and just see what is going on for you for the middle of the week. Again, if you haven't watched part 1 of this reading, I will have it linked up down below, but this was part 1 right here. We're going to add some anchor cards, and we're just going to see what else wants to come up for you. And look at this. 2 cards of abundance. This one and your first one right here. This cow spirit. I love this card. And this card says the miracles are endless. Damn. And you have this bearing fruit card as well, which is kind of like results. I think we kind of talked about this in the first reading that I did for this week, where it's kind of like there are some results coming in for you, but it's like you going to another level with, especially with your last card. And I see that for you, but I feel like there are like endless miracles coming in for you with the cow spirit. Cows are also considered very lucky. And with your first card, the Ten of Swords, we were talking about how on the Ten of Swords, he's actually making a symbol that represents blessings. So I kind of feel like there are definitely, even though the Ten of Swords is like the end and something, you leaving something behind, something that is dead, done, over with, behind, it's like, you know, clearly there's success coming in for you. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is growth and expansion. Literally, we talked about this in part 1. You are growing, you are expanding. I really just, the best way I could describe your energy is you're taking something to the next level. I don't care if it's a business, a relationship, your health, something. It's like you're taking something to a whole new level in your life. But it's kind of weird because, you know, for all of 2021, basically, I kept getting this message for you where it's kind of like you're in a circle and you're just making a bigger circle. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like if you have a, you know, let's just pretend you have a tarot YouTube channel. It's like maybe you're branching out to a bigger audience where it's like maybe you're doing law of attraction or something else. Like I just see you. That's a, you know, again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm saying you're doing something like that. So if you have a business or a career, it's like maybe it's in a certain niche, but you're going to be kind of taking it out, if that makes sense. The same thing with your living situation. Again, some of you could be moving, and it's like maybe you live in a small town and you're about to move to a big one. I don't know. There's something in that for you here, Aries. Some of you, that might be confirmation. Like maybe you're thinking like, oh, I want love. Maybe your answer, maybe you live somewhere where there are no people. Maybe you need to move somewhere bigger, right? With the Knight of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this is your crossing energy, the Knight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is holding on to the past. We kind of talked about this as well, how it seems to me like people in your life maybe don't want you to outgrow them. But, you know, again, we have to grow in life. That's the whole point of life. For others, I feel like just, you know, it's like on the Knight of Cups, he needs to kind of cross that river, which we also kind of talked about. And the Four of Pentacles says you have to do that. The Four of Pentacles is about moving mountains. One of my favorite people of all time, Greg Braden, he says, when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. And he has one over his head, one over his heart here. So I always say that the Four of Pentacles can represent kind of coming into alignment, needing to make your head and your heart one. So right now, if you're off balance, Five of Wands as your passing energy, you are moving past this, but you know, if you're feeling off balance or like you don't have clarity, the reason could be that your head and your heart aren't in alignment. It's like maybe your heart wants one thing, but your head is telling you to do something else. So I feel if you could just smack those two things together, you know, you'll be in a really good place. With the Magician, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for something. Remember, we talked about in your first reading how you've made up your mind. It's like I see with the Magician and the Strength card, to me, those two cards should be smacked together. To me, those two cards are saying you have made up your mind. I feel that you have made up your mind, that there's some sort of change that you want to make. I really see something. It's almost like I see a tunnel. That's gonna sound weird. I'm not talking about like the light at the end of the tunnel here, Aries. I feel like I see you going through a tunnel. It's like you're going to the other side with these two cards. But it's, to me, you have made up your mind that you're making a change in your life. The Queen of Wands is a great card of success as well. If she is bold and assertive, she'll be successful. Again, with the Magician, we have to focus on something with love, joy, happiness, you know, all those emotions, and then we can attract something much better. And the Queen of Wands represents wholehearted energy. She represents doing things that you can put your heart and your soul into. If you do that, you will be very successful. Next, you have the Truth card coming up in the middle. This card is a card of the truth coming out. It's kind of like a card of living your own truth as well. You can see that this tree, it's kind of like growing, you know, off. I don't know where my hand is. It's going this direction. or this way, I should say. And that tree has been shaped by the wind. So it's not as if the tree is just bending because it's because the wind is blowing. It's bending. It looks like it's grown in that direction because the truth has shaped it. And again, that's popping into my head as important for you. I feel like you're starting to live your own inner truth, and it's going to turn you into something very unique. I think that there are a lot of trees in your life, and these could be people, but maybe these people have always been the same. It's like they're just a straight up tree. I feel like you're in a shape. You're like a bonsai here, Aries, because you have been shaped by your life in general. I don't know. That's ridiculous, Aries. With the Strength card, you have the King of Wands coming up in a very strong position. This could be your energy with the Strength card. Even though the Strength card represents Leo, King of Wands could be Leo as well, but I feel like this is just your energy showing up. I feel like you are very strong at this time. This is showing up in your foundation as well, so you clearly have a very strong foundation, but your foundation is you. It is just yourself. So you're kind of like I do feel that not just this week, but also into the future, it's like you're really having to rely on yourself. I feel like you're really having to make yourself your own mental point of origin, as they say, kind of making decisions from yourself. That's going to lead to a lot of success. I love this, by the way. King and Queen of Wands. Definitely could be true love coming in for you. I mean, to me, those two are divine counterparts, and they have a very strong desire to be with each other. So you could be attracting a person. Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to. Could be the same gender, but these two people, I feel like this is the energies of the two different people here. Really good. With the Five of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, if you've been alone, this is coming up in the area of what is passing you, your past energy. You could be kind of moving towards not being single any longer. This kind of gives me glow up vibes, Aries, because the Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. You have this bearing fruit card. You have a lot of these cards of abundance that kind of represent Empress vibes, the cow, right? The cow spirit as well. So for a lot of you, I feel there's a lot of abundance and success coming in with the Nine of Pentacles. I really like to see that. With the Eight of Pentacles, Death card, this is coming up in your near future. The whole entire reading has been about some sort of change that is coming in and some sort of transformation. We talked about it with the Magician as well, how it's like you are changing. The Magician, he is undergoing a major transformation. It's not just like a little tiny thing, right? Because he is changing who he is with this snake wrapped around his waist here. I think something people forget about the Death card as well is that the Death card isn't meant to represent just like a tiny little change, you know? The Death card is meant to represent some sort of significant change that is happening in your life. I get a sense of excitement here, mostly because of the Page of Pentacles. There is a child right here that is giving flowers to the Death Rider, and it kind of represents that, children, they're not afraid of change. Children are very excited by change. They're very excited by new things. And with that Page of Pentacles coming up next, again, I feel that is, I feel like that is kind of like very similar energy, just excitement for the future. Next, you have the Bearing Fruit card. So clearly there is abundance coming in for you. This is a card of abundance and something that is abundant in your life. You're attracting a lot of abundance, it seems. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune. A lot of luck coming in for you and probably a change in your fortunes as well. This is coming up over the next few months. So it seems to me like a lot of you could be just attracting a change in your fortunes. This is a good thing. And I would say with that Page of Pentacles, like you're taking more control over your own reality with this energy. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. This is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. So some of you could be working on your close relationships, or you could be attracting new relationships into your life with the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is kind of like you making it a focus as well. So your relationships in general are probably a focus for you. I'm getting a weird message as well. Again, if you've been like working on a past relationship, or if you're in a situationship, it's like everything that you've learned, I feel, from that is going to be used somewhere else. It's like you're taking the knowledge and bringing it to another relationship. So it wasn't a waste of time. I don't know, weird message. If you've been trying to fix a relationship, or if you've been trying to fix a situationship, whatever you want to call it, it looks to me like you're probably leaving it, Ten of Swords, in 2022 or right now. But it looks to me like all that knowledge is going to be very beneficial. Everything you learned from that is going to lead to like your true love. Kind of gives me the whole stepping stone soulmates type type of thing here, but you don't have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is my card of stepping stone soulmates. If you don't know what a stepping stone soulmate is, by the way, it's like a person who you're meant to be with that like teaches you about love for like the next person. Usually a stepping stone soulmate as well. Usually the way that you know that it's a stepping stone soulmate is that when you met them, they probably were going through or have been going through something that you went through in the past. Usually they have similar kind of traumas, or it doesn't even have to be trauma. Maybe they have money issues. Maybe you had similar money issues years ago. They're brought into your life to remind you of something from the past so that you can be like, I don't want to experience that again, right? So it's just that simple. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Tower here. This is in the area of your future feelings. Again, if you're going through a breakup, makes perfect sense. Tower doesn't have to be a bad card either. Again, you're going through a major change here or major transformation. The Tower can represent a collapsing of your worldview. It's like you could see certain things in the world a certain way, and when that collapses, that can be a little bit shocking. I do see that happening for some of you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie that there could be some things that come out in the future. I would say the whole entire year, 2022, that maybe shake you up a little bit. This is not a bad thing, though, because the Tower happens so that we can be grounded in reality. You actually have the Queen of Swords as well, which is like you see the truth. You have the truth card here also. So I feel that even though there could be some truths that come out, this feels global to me. It doesn't feel like just like a tiny little thing. It could be a truth about your boss or something like that, or just things going on around you. And I feel like these things are bringing you down to earth. It could shake up your worldview, but at the same time, it's like the truth. It's necessary. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. What is this about? Yeah, the Nine of Swords is like worries, fear. This is your outcome with the Six of Pentacles. Nine of Swords says get out of your head. No stinking thinking. I would be careful. I would, take care of yourself and your mental health and things like that. Again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical or psychological advice at all, period. Go see a professional. There's no shame in it, right? If you're having problems mentally, then I feel like this is saying there are plenty of people who can help you, and I would definitely look for that. But the Nine of Swords, a little bit of stinking thinking. So I would get out of your head. I'm actually going to get a little bit nosy and pull an extra card for that row. You have this Chop Wood card. The Nine of Swords can represent frustrations, and sometimes when we are frustrated, I feel we can try to force things to happen. I do feel like this Chop Wood card is saying this week, don't try to force things to happen with that energy. Six of Pentacles, it's a little bit annoying because it's like you're planting seeds, but what do you have to do to seeds? You have to water them, take care of them, and wait for them to grow. So I would say no stinking thinking, because what I'm feeling there with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords is it's like you could be working towards something, a goal, wish, or dream, and it's like maybe it doesn't manifest overnight. Maybe it doesn't, maybe you don't see the results right away. I feel like that card is saying there's no rush. Take your time. The seeds are going to grow, right? Plain and simple. Nine of Swords is also temporary. I feel for those of you that are leaving a situationship or a relationship here, it's like I just feel that energy of wanting to but not wanting to. I feel like that's where you're at if you are in a negative love situation. And what do you know? It's 11/11, by the way. But it's like, and again, if you're in a perfect relationship or if you're happy right now, this story is not for you, right? But if you're in a situation where you're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're not sure what to do, I just see you leaving. It's like you want to, but you don't want to with those last cards. But I really feel like there's so much more for you on the other side of this change. So that's what I'll say there. Love it. Thank you for being here, Aries. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, I have part 1 linked up down below. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, make sure to watch that. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.